y'all what's up. It's Friday and I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. The first American art form was racist. How is jazz racist? I'm talking about minstrelsy, girl. I thought it was jazz. No. When we talk about authentically American art forms, we're talking about things that weren't brought over from Great Britain, Scotland, Germany, Italy, France, the Netherlands, because all of us descendants of immigrants, in case you forgot. The very first form of art and entertainment that was genuinely birthed from American culture were minstrel shows. Ooh, the ghetto. Minstrelsy was a stage for which white men in blackface, or sometimes even black men in blackface because they weren't black enough, painted all outside their mouths with pink lips, spoken horridly broken English, made unnecessary references to watermelon and fried chicken, shucking and jiving and sounded like complete idiots. This all developed in the 19th century and quickly became the imagery for which the rest of the world would understand black people. But you know what else happened in the 19th century? My guy Frederick Douglass became the most photographed American, more than President Lincoln. My mans did love him a good selfie, but in all the pictures you find of him, he never smiled. Why? Because he was very adamant about changing the effect media consumption had on the perception of African Americans. And so he did not portray himself to be a ear-to-ear, smiling, just happy to be a pressed Negro who dances for the white man. No, he was dignified, refined, hair laid, mustache curled, dressed down, period. You see, black people have been using entertainment culture for years as a source to share their own stories because all other arenas involve white people telling their own tales about black people and read them to their children as bedtime stories. For hundreds of years, the curriculum taught to our kids, at least grades K through 12, has been intentionally designed to exclude the representation of minorities. No, I'm not talking about pictures on the cover. I'm talking about content in the book. You see, it keeps marginalized people in the margins. Hello? And because the system fails to educate our young, sweet pea, the system don't fail. It was not designed to educate. It was designed to indoctrinate. The result of this is the makeshift, lukewarm, enthusiastically non-racist white ally that don't feel moved to speak up when the time comes because all the bad stuff is still only happening in the margins. A word. But then in the 21st century, we get a gem like Chadwick Boseman, a legend, an artiste, a literal superhero, a phenom, who was Jackie, James, Thurgood, T'Challa, and many more. Is this your king? Yes. His particular legacy falls in line with the many whose aim was to alter the representation of black Americans by creating new worlds in cinema and on TV, to grant the freedom for the black imaginary to roam outside of mammy figures, Uncle Tom, Sapphires, Jezebels, apes, lazy beasts, and to truly embody the essence of black humanity and culture. And before Chadwick's time, it was the New Negro movement. Hey man, let's show these white people we smart for real. The Harlem Renaissance. Forget them white people. Do what you want. The 70s. The Black Power movement and the Black Arts movement that told us that black was beautiful. And 90s to 2000s film, music, and TV programming. Hey man, white people and black people got a lot of issues, so let's just all learn to love one another. And that's why we can't get through an episode of Moesha without having to learn a social justice lesson. Anyway, this is why Chadwick Boseman's passing was not just heartbreaking to us as consumers, but to the industry. He was carrying a torch that many of our ancestors have been carrying for years. The 21st century has not only brought us actors like Chadwick Boseman, but actors and writers like Melina Masukis, Lena Waithe, Issa Rae, Michaela Cole, Daniel Kaluuya, Kenya Barris, Ryan Coogler, Ava DuVernay, and the list goes on. Wonder who's next? Girl, I don't know, but it's not Ghost.